Okay, so I'm only going to ask you a couple of questions for this particular interview. That way I don't tire you out or anything.
Oh, so just like the last one?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm ready when you are.
Awesome. So my first question is, why are you here? What happened? What was your childhood like? How was school? How did you meet Grandma? Just how did you get here? That's what I'm asking.
So you basically want me to tell you about my entire life?
Yeah, basically.
Okay then. I was born in 1942 in the city of Yellowmore. My mom and dad were the owners of a popular sandwich shop on North Street. I was the only child they ever had, so I had no brothers or sisters or anything. When I was a child, there wasn't much happening. 5 out of the 7 days in the week, I would go to school. I hated school with a burning passion. I mean, I did okay in it. I think I normally got C's or something. The thing is, even though I hated school, I didn't really know what else to do. I mean, I'd rather go to school than work at the sandwich shop, which was just frustratingly boring. I mean, it probably wouldn't have been so bad if I were able to actually cook sandwiches, but I wasn't even doing that. My dad actually wanted me to take over the shop when I became older, but I told him, I don't want to run a sandwich shop for the rest of my life. I'd rather die. He didn't take that well. One day, when I was looking over my grades, I realized there were only 2 classes in which I got an A in, Art 101 and Film Studies. It was then that I decided to pursue an art degree and become a filmmaker. So when I was 18, I attended Hashville Institute for Visionaries. It was the only art school that would accept me. I had a good time there. I made friends, movies, all that good stuff. After 4 years, I got my BFA. And then I decided to become a doctor. I guess my thinking at the time was that I would be helping people and there would be good money in that job. I figured I could get into med school with my art degree, since it was a bachelor's and that's what they want. But it turns out only a few of the classes I took were, quote, valid, end quote. So I ended up going to HIT, Hashville Institute of Technology, for another 4 years so I could get a science degree. That experience was excruciatingly hard, and I only got about 10 hours of sleep per week if I were lucky. So after I finished that BS, I went to medical school, which was literally just called medical school. And, I sucked. I failed every practice surgery and all of my written tests. I was probably the worst student they ever had. One good thing did come out of medical school. I met Rachel. She was beautiful, she was at the top of the class, and I don't know what it was, but she saw something that she liked in me. We went out as much as we could, and we began having a romantic relationship with each other. So after I dropped out of medical school, I was able to live with her in her apartment. She became a surgeon at the county hospital, and I eventually got a job at the Palm Tree Cafe. First I was a waiter, then I became a cook, then I was the head chef, and then I became the manager of the cafe. I don't even know how that happened, but it just did. It was different though, being a manager. It was a lot of business stuff I had to take care of, and it was a bit of a stressful job. So life was life for about 10 years, and then one day, when I came home after work, Rachel had a surprise for me.
Roger, I'm pregnant!
Of course, I was overwhelmed with joy when I heard this news. So we had, I forgot to mention we got married. So yeah, that happened. Anyway, we had a baby girl. We named her Rachel Jr., and she was a piece of work. She screamed a lot, she crapped a lot, she was a handful. But as she matured and entered her teen years, she became a smart gal. Like, really smart. She was the best student at her high school, and her SAT scores were outstanding. She worked as a waitress at my cafe during the summer. That way she had something to do. One day I told her that, since I was getting older, I could use some help running the cafe. Her response was,
Are you saying you want me to be your co-manager? I don't want to run a cafe. I'd rather die.
I now know what my father must have felt when I said I didn't want to run his sandwich shop. I thought it was making it easier for her, giving her a career she didn't have to worry about looking for. Understandably, she didn't want the job. She wanted to become a female engineer instead. She ended up going To Harvard? It's not like a big school or anything. I probably could have gotten in if I tried. Anyway, after Junior moved out, I had to sell the cafe. I made a lot of dicey money choices in my time, and I drove the company to the edge of bankruptcy. It was Bobby's Pizza joint that bought us out and took over the place. Around that same time, Rachel developed terminal cancer. I still don't know how that happened. She passed away a year after a diagnosis. A short time after that, I became constipated. I haven't had a good potty break since 2000. I ended up selling the home I was living in 2002. I just felt so lonely there. I couldn't handle it. So now I'm here. I'm living in this retirement home in the town of Asheville. On the bright side, I have 2 lovely grandchildren, both boys. I have a nice, handsome son-in-law named Ted. I am very happy my daughter has him for a husband. With the money I made selling both my house and the cafe, I was able to put a large amount of that in my grandkids' college accounts. And yeah, I have quite a few great friends here at this home and a lovely caretaker. So I'm just a playboy at heart right now. Anything else?
I think that should be good. Thank you so much for doing this again, Grandpa.
Oh, no problem. Anything for the young filmmaker. I still can't believe you chose me as your documentary subject. Is my story really that interesting?
Yeah, I think so. So, you available again tomorrow?
Of course. Just come on in and I'll be ready for another interview. How long are you in town again?
Well, my flight leaves Tuesday, so about 4 days.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Alright. See you tomorrow, Grandpa.
Okay. Goodbye, Ryan.
Bye-bye.